everyone. Sorry, I'm all of 5 minutes late. Technology had me this evening, afternoon. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I just wanted to make sure that my stuff is on silent so that we are not disturbed. So it turns out that my laptop was off. And then when I tried to switch it on to start this live, nothing wanted to come on. So hence the 5 minute delay. So sorry about that. But thank you so very much for joining me. And it is Friday as usual. So yay! These things really help me a lot. Like I'm in a fluster right now. I'm not feeling like Fridays. You guys know my story, right? I feel like I am becoming a broken record about my Fridays. I don't know what's going on with my hair here. That's so strange. Okay. Like I'm a broken record every Friday, and I feel I must tell you guys so that you guys can get a sense of my energy. But these sprints really help, like, zen me, right? They help center me. So I'm very, very appreciative of this moment. So today we will share. I want to time it to the 5 minutes that I have put on here, right? Because I want us to get straight into the sprint. So I'm only giving myself 5 minutes for the intro, starting now. So what I was saying is that I did get a few books delivered today. 2 of them I did win from Charity. Thank you, Charity and Penguin. So Charity was running this competition on her Instagram the other week, and I won. I think it was one of 2 winners. I don't know who the other winner was, but I won one of the set, I guess, of books. And this one I am interested in because it's like a YA romance as far as I know, and I've never read from Nicola Yoon, so I'm very excited about that. And this one I have been eyeing for a very long time. It is one of our book club picks for the Azania book club. And I had gone and bought a copy. So my sister is a lucky girl because I gave her the copy that I bought so that I could treasure the one that I won. So these are the books that I won from Charity's competition over on Instagram recently. If you guys don't follow her, she's booked on Charity over there as well as here on YouTube. And then NB Publishers / Quella was kind enough to send me this book over here. And funny enough, I had a conversation with Bookish Nontly about this just yesterday, saying that I'm quite curious about it. This is called Bantu Knots by Lebu Masimuko. I will read you the back of it, but it is blurbed by Busani Dube of the Shomu series. The blurb reads, heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time. You'd swear Lebu is sitting with you in the room telling the story. So this is a novel, it's fiction. It reads, it's not just hair, Minnie, even though hair is one way we use to express ourselves. I don't know if you guys remember the drama with Minnie and the Bantu knots, her calling them ghetto, I think. Anyway, young lady wants to trade her Bantu knots for Nontle Tema's hair on the Dark and Lovely box. She grows up in Soweto with her strict grandmother, Mama Nora. During the day, she lives vicariously through characters in the Ndende street, and at night, she recites Bible verses with Mama. Meanwhile, her mother, Dineo, is out chasing the blesser lifestyle. When Lady starts university away from Mama's watchful eye, there are men, love, parties, feminism, art, politics, and sex. Bantu Knots is the coming-of-age story of a young Black woman in South Africa finding her voice. It explores the complexity of mother-daughter relationships and trying to understand each other. We follow Lady as she forgives a father who denies her, navigates the pressure of her circumstances, womanhood, relationships, and beauty ideals, and pursues her dreams in spite of it all. So I'm not sure if Lebu Masimuko is a first-time author or what, but that's the book from Quella. I don't know if you guys want to hear about these 2, but they've been circulating for quite a bit, but you'll let me know in the comments if you want to hear anything at all about them. And then what I've managed to finish last week, before my 2 minutes is up, gosh, I told you guys my drama about the Bridgerton series. So I did manage to finish book 4, which is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, Penelope and Colin's story. And I also finished book 3 over the weekend, which is An Offer from a Gentleman, Benedict's story. And then I picked up this other book from Quella, Suitcase of Memory by Aisha Kasim, which I'm absolutely loving. That's what I will be reading during the sprint. And then for the weekend ahead, I really want to grab His Only Wife. I'm probably the only person who hasn't read it yet, by Peace Adzomedi. And I also want to get started on Lindiwe Nkuta's 69 Jerusalem Street. It's a collection of short stories. So those are my plans for the weekend. And today for my snacks, I have a donut, cinnamon donut, and this new flavor knickknacks, which I actually think I am liking more than I should be admitting. So that's what I'll be nibbling on. And I have a glass of wine. This thing is distracting me, but I need to get used to it. And I have a glass of wine. So what are you guys reading? Do share in the comment section below. I will start our first sprint, which will run for 20 minutes when this timer is up, and let's get to reading. Don't forget, we can always conversate in the comment section down below, and you can let me know what you're reading, what you hope to get through during the session, etc., etc. And if you're interested in the back of any of these books, you let me know as well. Let's go. Okay, that's the end of our first sprint. I think the break will be about 5 minutes long. How did that first sprint go? I know I was still settling in, so I didn't get too much read, and my kids were a bit distracting. I don't know if you guys heard me screaming for them. Hi, Somali. So Somali says she's reading The Mountains Sing, and she hopes to finish it tonight. I hope so too. Like I always say, a weekend where you can a weekend where you can record a book finished is great, especially if it's at the start of the weekend. Karen says they're reading paranormal fantasy books. I don't know, guys. My mind, the way it's wired, hey, the minute you said paranormal, I love fantasy, but paranormal fantasy, I don't know. Which book specifically are you enjoying from the ones that you have read or are reading? Ace says they're reading urban fantasy romance books. Oh, that sounds exciting. That definitely sounds exciting. Please recommend, both you and Karen, can you guys recommend from the genres that you have listed? I thought to read you guys while I was reading, I thought, okay, let me read you guys the back of the books that I did win. So in case you haven't heard of The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, I'll read you the back of this during this break, and then I'll read you the back of the other one in the next break, and so on and so forth. So the back of this one says, "We are girls, or are we demons? Are we going to die, or are we going to survive?" In this bold and immersive fantasy, a young heroine fights to save a world that would dare tame her and discover she is her own fiercest weapon. BuzzFeed says fans of Children of Blood and Bone and Black Panther are going to adore this. Ooh. It does have a trigger warning of sort. It says contains material that some readers may find distressing. I know that there is a better, okay, there we go, synopsis somewhere in the book. It says, Dega lives in fear of the blood ceremony that will determine whether she can become a member of her village. If she bleeds red, she will belong. But on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, the color of impurity of a demon. The consequences force Deka to leave her village with a mysterious woman destined to join an army of girls like her, the Alaki, girls who are near immortals with rare gifts and the only ones able to stop the Empire's greatest threat. But as she journeys to the capital to train for the battle of her life, Deka discovers the great walled city holds many surprises. Nothing and no one are quite what they seem, not even Dega herself. Sounds exciting. I love books like this, especially those that start off with a letter from the author. I'm always very skeptical, though, to read these letters at the start of my reading because I never really want authors to influence my consumption of their work. If you get what I'm trying to say, I believe that some stuff can be left for the end. So I always skip things like forewords, etc., up until I finish the book. But I will see how this goes with this specific book. Hey, you're not too late. Trust me, I also started late. You're reading Lasta by Raven Leilani. How are you finding it? I have been eyeing the book. I don't want a license last year, but I haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. How are you finding it? I hope that you are enjoying it at the very least. What else? Okay, so I've read you the Gilded Ones. I might read you the back of these two as well. These are the ones that I'm hoping to pick up this weekend. This is a collection of short stories, so I'm not planning to really finish it, but I do want to start it. I want to read and finish this one tomorrow, which means I'm not doing this multiple book thing anymore, guys. I can't. I'm not surviving. So which means I need to finish this one tonight. And I am on page 106, and the book is 200 and something pages long. 259. So hopefully I can get through it tonight, depending on what mood my kids are in, and depending on how quickly I can do what I need to do for work. But I really do feel like I need to call to my center, So this is the one method that I use often to do that. So I might just end up reading the whole night and doing work tomorrow. We shall see. I did read you the back of Bantu knots, so I won't be picking that one up. So yeah, let's get ready for the second one. Um, Okay, that's the end of our second sprint. Hi, Marina. We're still reading the French version of I Write What I Like. Oh, that should be fun. That should be lots of fun, actually. That sounds exciting. How was your second sprint, guys? I did get a phone call that I really could not ignore. So I didn't read as much as everybody else the second time around. But hopefully you guys got a few more pages in. And like I was saying, I'm going to use the 5-minute breaks to read you the back of the other books that I mentioned earlier. So the next one is Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. I did say that I haven't read anything by her, but I see here at the back that she also has a book called Everything, Everything, and the sun is also a star. I've heard that title, and I've seen the book around a lot. The sun is also a star. Don't know if it's a second one or her first one. I want to say I think it's her first. It's a second. It's a second, and I like the fact that it doesn't seem like these are series. So this is her third book. So the first one is Everything is Everything. The second one is The Sun is Also a Star. So the back of this one reads, if Evie Thomas knows one thing, it's that love doesn't last. When she sees a couple kiss, she gets a vision of their whole relationship from the moment they first catch each other's eyes to the last bitter moment of their breakup. It's more than enough reason for her to keep boys at arm's length. But then at the Labre dance studio, she meets X, tall, dreadlocked, fascinating. And as they dance around and towards each other, Evie finds herself wondering if, after all, love might just be worth the risk. Okay, so this is romance. The rest of the blurb reads: the number one New York Times best-selling author of Everything, Everything returns with a new and utterly unique romance. Like I said, I won these off of Charity's competition that she was running alongside Penguin recently on her Instagram. So that's the second book that I won. And oh wow, okay. Got quite a number of chapters, but I haven't seen this in books in such a long time. This contents page, that's very interesting. So that's the second book that I won. And yeah, maybe I've got time to read you the back of Lindy Wenkuda's collection of short stories called 69 Jerusalem Street. In her sparkling debut collection of short stories, Lindy Wenkuta takes us through the minds of people you may overlook on an ordinary day. The wayward neighbor you vaguely remember seeing every day as a child until the day he vanished. The face you see every weekend at the local drinking hole, but know little about, not even her name. The young woman who is caught between her faith and her love for a woman. Their lives are untidy, tainted with pain, joy, and violence as they share with us stories they wouldn't share with anyone else. Nguda's words weave in and around the weights we've dragged behind us from one place to another, with the sensitivity and wit required for such vulnerable and intimate moments. So yeah, that's the collection of short stories. Like I'm saying, I'm planning to open this one over the weekend to just start it. So yeah, that's that. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. This is a debut novel by Aisha Kasim, published by Aquila Books. Her style of writing is quite lyrical and it flows so easily, and she's managed to bring in something so unique in the story, as well as to make it have the backdrop of apartheid, 1950 South Africa, 1950s, 1960s. She's done it so very well. It's historical fiction, but with a little bit of a twist and some fast spice. Like she's done it, like the writing in here is unmatched as far as I am concerned in the stories that I've read from South Africa this year. It is really phenomenal. Anyway, our break is almost up and we're going to go for our third sprint. I think we're going to do 4 today. So that's the second last one that we're going to start in the next 10 seconds or so. So good luck with that. And yeah, let's get right into it. Just trying to find my clock. Okay, that's the end of our third sprint. It went a bit better than the second one for me. I hope it did for you too. I'm also a little bit distracted today. I don't want to lie. Like my mind is everywhere. Like I was saying, I think at the beginning of this that I do have a bit of work to do, and that's just lingering in my head. And I am concerned. A friend of mine, the phone call that I had, a friend of mine was involved in an accident. So I think that is also playing in my head. But I do need to read though. Like, not now, Iana. Okay. I'll look at it when I come downstairs, okay? Thank you, baby. There's also that. My kids are also a bit restless today, so go figure. But I am determined. I am determined to finish this book this weekend, tonight actually, because I really want to tuck into His Only Wife, which is the other back that I wanted to read for you. The blurb, I mean, the synopsis, whatever you want to call it. This one is 278 pages long. And Pete Adzome Medi is a Ghanaian writer and senior lecturer in the gender and international politics at the University in Gender and International Politics at the University of Bristol, the author of Global Norms and Local Action, the Campaign to End Violence Against Women in Africa, published by Oxford University Press in 2020. She holds a PhD in Public and International Affairs from the University of Pittsburgh and a BA in Geography from the University of Ghana. She was born in Liberia, and His Only Wife is her debut novel. Woo! All these accolades, girl! Okay, so the back reads, Eleki married me in absentia. He did not come to our wedding. Afi Tekple is a young seamstress living in a small town in Ghana with her widowed mother. Afi's future doesn't seem to hold much excitement until, that is, she is offered a life-changing opportunity, a proposal of marriage from the wealthy family of Elegem Ganyo. She barely knows Elegem, but that seems a small price to pay for a marriage that could offer her family financial security, as well as the key to the glitzy city lifestyle she always wanted. But when Afi arrives in Accra, she realizes that her fairy tale ending might not be all that she'd hoped for. Now she must balance the often conflicting roles of wife, daughter, niece, and sister in law without losing sight of herself. Bursting with warmth and humor, His Only Wife is a witty, smart, and moving comedy of manners about the search for independence and the rules that might have to be broken along the way. Oh, guys, I really want to pick this one up this weekend. Pick it up and finish it. So, this one was sent to me. I'm just trying to see if I didn't tell you the others. Okay. So this one was sent to me by Jonathan Ball Publishers here in South Africa, and I really can't wait to tuck in. Like I keep forgetting that I'm inverted and I'm trying to figure out where to place this. So yeah. And I think this would be the second Ghanaian author that I would read. The first being Yajasi is the first author from Ghana that I read. Absolutely loved her. So this would be another Ghanaian author for me. And from what I've been hearing on the streets, it's worth my while. So I cannot wait. I really can't wait. It does. It sounds like it's got the makings of. I remember back in the day when I first watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And the thing that stuck out for me more than anything, and I think obviously the story was interesting, quirky, whatever, was the culture. And I think that from what I'm sensing from the synopsis, piece is going to show us a little bit of Ghanaian culture in this. And I really can't wait. I really cannot wait. In case you guys wonder, I'm always curious about these things. This is how the author looks. I hope this does some justice to the matter. But that's what she looks like. I don't know why they went with a black and white picture. Don't ask me, but that's peace. So we will do our fourth and final sprint of the evening. Whenever you're ready, get to that book. Hopefully, Simole, I'm crossing fingers that you read a little bit more and that you do finish the book. Actually, let me know if you finish the book, and I'll let you know if I finish my book tonight. And that's the end of our sprint. Really, Marina, why? I want to say I get it, but you know my story, right? My thing is always I feel like I will always struggle with nonfiction, and I'll always make this disclaimer when I talk about nonfiction. I do not mean memoirs. Memoirs are my favorite genre of nonfiction, but or subgenre, if you will. But I don't know. Like I can have reading slumps, but I am definitely positive each and every time that fiction will be the thing to do it for me. I've never been caught in a binge of nonfiction. I'm failing to understand. What's wrong? What's going on? Why are you struggling with fiction? Um, so like I said, that's the end of our sprint. I actually enjoyed today, even though it was all over the show. And I want to do a proper review of this book, but I am struggling to explain what Aisha is doing with this. But if you have it on your shelf already, please pick it up soon because you will not regret it. And it is one of those that could easily be a 1 day read, right? Or one sitting read. It's just that I have had to admit to myself that when my kids are full-time back at school, which they are now, it is a dream to imagine that I can read during the week, because from morning preparing for school run, after school run it's work, at lunchtime it's picking up, after that is preparing for dinner, it's preparing for the evening routine, and then the circus starts all over again the following day. I've got no time. I have had to admit that to myself. Plus, because it's been cold, I could say I would wake up earlier, but it's been cold. I don't want to lie to myself. And I struggled to read this week in terms of during the day or the morning. Nighttime was another thing because I was just binging TikTok. So perhaps that's where my time is. But what I'm trying to say is that I could have finished the book faster than I did. So don't take that as a telltale. I did open the book, I want to say Sunday, if not Saturday. I want to say it was Sunday. But even then, I only read a few hours because I had a lot of things to do. Like, no, because it was a public holiday, it was Monday. Sunday or Monday. I don't know, guys. But I did have errands on that specific day, so I didn't sit down and read the whole time. And by the time it was nighttime, it was too late for me to pick it up, and I only picked it up again during the sprint. So what I'm trying to get at is that it's 259 pages long. You could finish it in 1 day. That's how well written it is. Not to say that every 259 page long book is an easy read, but this one is quite easy to go through, and the story is quite intriguing as well. So that is a plus for how fast you would read through it. Let me not ramble any further. I'm just hoping, Marina, that fiction will find you again. I really hope so, because that would be a sad, 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 sad time if you would not come back to the fiction streets. Anyway, thank you so very much for joining me once again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next Friday, bye now.